The overworld is about to evolve in more ways than one. I want to show you a few leaks here, but I also want to discuss how everyone always asks me, how do you earn in Illuvium? And I'm going to talk about one of the many ways that will be possible for those of you interested in that, but more importantly, what it means for the overall Illuvium economy, the revenue generation for Illuvium, and how I think everything's going to shake out when open beta does release sometime in 2024. So first, let's have a look at this leak. And you'll notice in the top left corner, it says OW sword 3 hits combo A. As you can see, the ranger is doing a really awesome attack combination with this sword. As we can see in the top left, it says OW, which stands for overworld, meaning that this is an overworld attack animations. All 3 of these are. They're overworld attack animations, something that we have not seen before from Illuvium. What does this mean? There's some sort of combat in the overworld. It is going to make it more engaging and more interesting. Now, what could that look like? All we know for sure is Grant has mentioned plants attacking you many times before. I don't think they're going to run around or roam around, but they are going to make it more difficult for you to traverse the landscape, but more importantly, capture alluvials, engage with the world, mine resources. These things are going to attack you on your journey, and you're going to have to defeat them with every different kind of ranger weapon at your disposal. Why is this important? Not only does it make the game a little bit more engaging, which helps eliminate bots, make the game more fun to play, and make it more interesting, and maybe more strategy behind finding rare alluvials, but it just makes the game more fun. And we get comments all the time about how the overworld is boring. But the other side of things is that Aaron in the Discord has actually mentioned they really want to make a battle royale at some point as well. And implementing these sorts of features makes it a lot easier for the team to just go, switch on multiplayer. I know it's not that easy. Switch on multiplayer, get everyone in there, and now you can start swinging your sword at other players in the overworld. But here's the next thing. How do we turn this into earning an Illuvium? Well, the overall economy is built on the alluvials. Every single time someone finds an alluvial, it becomes harder for everyone else to find. More importantly, they're not minted out of thin air. Every alluvial that will be created in the ecosystem will be someone finding that alluvial in the overworld one way or another. The more difficult the game becomes, the harder it becomes to find these alluvials, and the more valuable they potentially come to those that are skilled at gameplay, which is what I always believe. Skilled gameplay should reward players in one way or another, whether that be a higher rank than someone else or whatever else it might be. And here's the next leak we need to take a look at. Here is a holographic Ramfy. The attention to detail put in these NFTs is unbelievable, and the holographic effect is really cool, and there will also be a dark holographic Ramfy, but we probably won't see that until the open beta launch. In the case of the holographic Ramfy, you can see how cool it looks. This will be used in the arena, Leviathan arena, survival mode, well, not survival mode. This will be used in most areas of gameplay in the Illuvium world. You will probably also be able to show it off in the overworld at some point as they start to add things like co-op and social areas that you can see other rangers. So I just think this animation is so stunning, and here's where it gets interesting. I want to break down the math really briefly, and I want you to know that this is extremely conservative, and it's actually probably going to be a lot higher than that. If we say you find one Ramfy every 30 minutes on a stage 3 run, if you go to a stage 3 run in Crimson Waste, I think you'll find about one in that time. Now, we don't know how much that's going to cost to enter this stage 3 run, and we don't know how many players are going to be in the game. Well, let's put this hypothetical forward. At 100,000 players doing stage 3 runs, and at 1 in 4,000 chance for a holo Ramfy, if we base this off the Pokemon odds for a shiny Pokemon, let's say stage 3 runs are $10 each. That means that in every 4,000 runs, one of these is going to come up, which is going to put it at about a value of $40,000. Obviously, it would probably be a lot cheaper. We've seen that from Illuvium Beyond. It depends on hype, demand, and a range of other things. But let's say it's worth about $40,000. It could be significantly more than that, but they're going to be super cool to acquire. You have to merge 9 of them together to get a holo Ramfire. If you can find one in the wild, that's pretty impressive. But let's say you need to merge 9 of them together to a holo Ramfire. Looking at $500,000 worth of revenue for the DAO for one of these holo Ramfires to come into existence. Probably even more if you're considering royalty fees and all that sort of stuff, but you get the point. These things are going to be highly sought after, and if there's enough players, then these are going to come onto the market and make the entire economy a lot more interesting for a lot more players. There are people that are going to want to get the first ever Holography, buy it off other players or whatever it might be, and I think it's very exciting that these sorts of endgame features are going to be coming to Illuvium. It's personally one of my favorite things to do whenever I defeat a Pokemon game is hunt shiny Pokemon. Obviously, it's on a whole different caliber and there are different ways you can enhance your chances of finding shiny Pokemon, but I'm just very excited that once someone captures this, it's theirs, and it meant that no one else captured that, and if they were the first one, then they can price it at whatever they want or whatever it might be. But if you're a hardcore hunter in the Illuvium Overworld, then you will have the opportunity to get good at the game, get good at mining resources and finding cool Illuvials, and then trying to look at the market and look at other players and get involved with the Illuvium economy.